Hello once again. It's the Jessica Bryan channel once again. Thanks for joining me. And I just want to share my thoughts on a particular issue that some people around me have been talking about for some time now. Some people wonder whether Nigeria will ever get better because there has been a slide towards destruction. We have seen a progressive destruction of the country with subsequent governments that come into power. It wasn't this bad during Obasanjo's regime. Obasanjo's regime was bad, but it wasn't this bad. The government that followed Obasanjo, the Yaradua regime, was equally bad. Obasanjo's regime was not as bad as Yaradua's regime, and then Jonathan's regime. And then from Jonathan, things just kept going downhill. And today it's a nation with no morality, a nation with no moral compass at all, a nation where there's no law. There is law, but the law is never applied. There are two things that make a nation get better. There are two things that make a society function very well. Just two things. These two things are the things that make a society either go from bad to worse or from bad to good and better. And these two things are non-existent in Nigeria at the moment. Number one, rule of law. Justice, that's what makes a country sane, what makes a country normal, what makes a country to stand, and what makes a country to progress. That is rule of law. For people who have no fear of God, people who have no conscience, the law will catch you. The law must always get you. So when we as we live in the United Kingdom, we see people abiding by the law because they know once you go against the law of the land, you suffer for it. You pay the price. You serve jail term for it. Whether you are a high-placed government official or you are just nobody in your home, you must obey the law of the land. The second thing that makes nations stand out, makes nations progress from, let's say, from just good to better and best, is the fear of God. The fear of God is what makes men do the right thing. So if there is no fear of the law and you have the fear of God in you, you want to do the right things. You want to be morally upright. You want to do unto somebody as you will have them do unto you because of the fear of God in you. You want to love your neighbor as you love yourself because you have that reverential fear of God. These two things I've talked about are missing in Nigeria at the moment. There is no law at all. The citadel of justice, the law courts have become so corrupt that there is no justice. The law enforcement institutions in Nigeria have become rotten with corruption. So they are not ready to arrest people who do wrong things. As long as people have the money to bribe them, you can kill and bury and nothing happens to you. These are the things that destroy a nation. These are the things that make a nation to implode and just turn to ruins. What the stories you hear coming out of Nigeria now are young men killing their girlfriends to make money, young men harvesting the organs of people to sell, the police being the police who should catch the armed robbers, being the armed robbers themselves, robbing people at gunpoint, forcing people to go to their ATM to go and withdraw money forcefully from their cash points and from their accounts. The soldiers who should maintain and defend the security of the nation are the people who are sponsoring kidnapping for ransom, protecting the kidnappers and the terrorists that they should flush out. The soldiers are in bed with the terrorists. So Nigeria is in ruin at the moment because there's no rule of law, there's no justice, there's no fear of the law, and there's no fear of God. The pastors, you think that, they are professing the name of God. They are holy. They fear God. By their fruits, you know them. They have no fear of God. They're just fleecing the poor people, using the poor people to live large. Offerings, money, tithe, this, that. They're just fleecing people, making them feel guilty. If you don't give me your salary, you go to hell. If you don't give me all your January salary, you go to hell. If you don't pay tithes, you will not go to heaven. So they put heavy burdens on the people when they should help relieve the heavy burdens. They should help bring smile to the faces of people. They manipulate people, make them feel good in the church, and then the people part with their money. And it's the ministers that are living large in the midst of so much poverty. Nigeria will not get better except, excuse me, except the fear of God is in the hearts of men and women, except people who go to church embrace the fear of the God that they worship, except the people who call on their Allah embrace the fear of the God that they worship, except there is justice, except the Supreme Court. Nigeria will not get better except the Supreme Court stop collecting bribe to truncate the election of the land, to truncate the will of the people. Nigeria will never get better except the judges stop collecting bribe to free armed robbers, to free killers. Nigeria will not get better except the government starts arresting all these bankers that are stealing money and being involved in round tripping, fraud, and making the dollars and pounds, foreign exchange, very scarce to come by. Nigeria will never get better except the killing stop, except the soldiers flush out the terrorists, because as you keep shedding innocent blood, the land is defiled. Nothing good comes out of a defiled land. That is the law of God. Nobody can change it. Oh, you go to church and you're told, keep confessing, it is well, it is well. You have been confessing it is well since they gave birth to my grandfather. You'll be confessing it is well. How come it hasn't become well? Because faith without works is dead. You have the faith, but you don't have the works that go with the faith. The two go hand in hand. That's why Nigeria may never ever get better, because the innocent blood is bringing curse. Injustice brings curses. Bible says we must never maltreat the widow and the orphan. Nigerians are maltreating the widow, the orphan. Jesus said you always have the poor with you. As in, take care of the poor, because you always have them with you. But Nigeria don't take care of their poor. They fleece the poor. They kill the poor. They chase them out of their homes and say their homes are blessed. They go to IDP camps, internal displaced persons camp, and say them are blessed. Yet there are rulers. Yet there are presidents who swore to protect the welfare of the people, who swore to maintain the law of the land. They are not ready. So they are destroying the nation gradually. And people who are living in denial are playing the ostrich, hiding their head in the sand and saying, as long as I'm not seeing what is going on, it's not seeing me, cannot come to me. But God knows that what goes around comes around, that a people will always reap what they sow. There is famine, there is hunger in Nigeria because terrorists have chased out farmers from the farm. A man comes home and says, my children are hungry, let me go to the farm to get food. He's beheaded. They're beheading people in the farm. The forests have become places where you see skulls, see beheaded beings, see dissected human beings in Nigeria. And there are soldiers that swore to defend the constitution, to defend the territory of the nation, yet they're allowing foreign invaders to come and slaughter the indigents, and nothing happens. That nation is already under a curse, except there's a change of course. Thank you so much for listening to me so far, and I'd like you to share this video. Share it where your friends are saying it is well. Nigeria will get better. Share this video to them. Thank you so much. And give me the thumbs up. If you give a thumbs up to this video, many more people are likely to watch it. This is the Jessica Brimer channel. I'm Evangelist Jessica John Brimer. God bless you.